Everyone, Dr. Clark here. I want to share with you a semi-humorous story about a patient of mine who was diagnosed as hypothyroid over the phone. So she was newly diagnosed hypothyroid, and this is how it happened. Her name is Kathy. When I saw Kathy, by the way, it turns out that she has Hashimoto's. Big surprise. I tell people that all the time. It's the most common cause of hypothyroidism. We shouldn't be surprised that anybody has Hashimoto's that has these hypothyroid symptoms. The reason I'm telling it to you, I thought it's a classic illustration of how just trivialized this is in the medical community. So Kathy goes into her doctor because she's been having these low thyroid symptoms, right? She's been having a significant constipation, which she used to never have. She notices her hair is thinning like all over her body, but the eyebrows are starting to thin. She's starting to lose a little bit of hair. She's been under a significant amount of stress. She adopted a couple of kids, and she's wondering if it's a stress-related thing. But she's having to sleep a lot. She's starting to wonder if she's feeling depressed. She's gaining weight, even though she's really only eating like 1,200 calories a day. She's never been a big person. So she goes in. The doctor does a lab test. At least the doctor recognizes that there is something wrong with her and actually decides to do some testing. Believe it or not, I've run into some patients lately whose doctors wouldn't even run any tests because they just branded the person as, you're depressed. That's a story for another video. But Kathy's doctor at least ran the test. Awesome. And she gets a phone call about 4 days later from the nurse that says the following. Hi, Kathy. This is nurse whoever at Dr. Smith's office. Yeah, you are hypothyroid. I've called in a prescription for Synthroid, so you can just go down to the CVS and pick that up. Okay, bye. That was it. That was it. No explanation of what hypothyroid meant. No, okay. That was the level of care that this lady was getting, which we really shouldn't be surprised about because if the doctor's working in an insurance model, that is very, very common. They got a couple of minutes to get you in, get you out. And luckily for Kathy, she had enough self-esteem that she said, wait a minute. What do you mean I'm hypothyroid? So she picked up the phone, called them back, and said, wait, that's not good enough. What do you mean I'm hypothyroid? Well, blah, blah, blah. That's all they wanted to do. They just wanted to blow her off and say, you're hypothyroid, take the medication, that's it. She led her to me, and of course we found out that she had Hashimoto's, which of course opened up a whole new world for her because she was able to understand that, it's an autoimmune problem, it's very dangerous, it could expand into other tissues. And I thought it was just an excellent example of the shoddy care. I'm just going to call it what it is. I just think it's shoddy and really it's a disservice to women, and it's probably just a symptom of how women are treated in general when it comes to medicine. Trivial thing, hey, take this medication, everything will be great. Well, it's not great for the most part. Most women that have Hashimoto's, and by the way, she ended up taking the medication because she needed to take it. But it wasn't the only thing that needed to be done. She had to have very specific dietary things addressed. There was a lot of immune system factors. We had to address TH1, TH2, nitric oxide, gut infections, all kinds of things that needed to be addressed with her. So it's not simply, for someone like me and someone who's trained in what I do, you can't just tell someone, okay, you're hypothyroid, take this medication, good luck. Because it doesn't work for most women because when they, modern medicine, which has been doing this for 40 years now, if you've got Hashimoto's, it doesn't change what they do for you anyway. They just say, hey, take the levothyroxine. If the doctor's really kind of sharp, they'll check up on you and, maybe you'll get some T3 or Cytomel, which has its own problems. And so I'm telling you this story because it just kind of struck me as sadly humorous that people are getting diagnosed as hypothyroid over the phone and basically saying, hey, go pick up your prescription at your local pharmacy and, good luck. We'll see you in 6 months, And I just think that it's sad. And a lot of women, in fact, most women have Hashimoto's, and taking the medication may be a very important thing for them to do, but it's not going to be the only thing they need to do in order to feel well. And they may have a little hormone honeymoon where they feel a little bit better for the first month or two, but eventually, usually what happens is if they got Hashimoto's, they have to take more medication, or their symptoms kind of return. So that hair loss and the constipation and the weight gain still is a problem for them. So if you've been diagnosed over the phone with hypothyroidism, there's a good chance you could have Hashimoto's. You need to be working with someone that understands all these issues I've just been talking about. Someone that can kind of hold your hand and explain to you really what's going on, get you correctly diagnosed, and then do something to help you. Help you get rid of the constipation, lose weight, maintain a healthy weight, and prevent the expansion of the autoimmune process into other tissues. So diagnosis over the phone, that's not something I do. And if that's happened to you, find someone that can do you better.